question is, why are black people so sensitive? When as I sit here and think about that question, I'm offended. But I also understand the reality of our sensitivity, because human beings don't often understand the reason that you create a sense of sensitivity to something is because you've experienced it over and over again. It makes you hypersensitive, makes you hyper aware. And so when you think about blackness and the history of how we've been, one, brought over here as cargo, but also treated as animals, and how long it took for the world to recognize, or I should say America to recognize our humanity, there's a lot of sensitivity behind that, because many of us have grown up with those traumatic experiences, you know, and transgenerational trauma. So our history here began with slavery. There's not another population on American soil that has experienced slavery the way that black people, African Americans, our ancestors have. And so those histories have been taught to us. And it's not even so much that it's the sensitivity of black people, it's the insensitivity of non-black people to recognize how oppression and discrimination impacts black America, right? And so even not just black America, but blackness around the world, depending on where you live, experiences racial discrimination. And so when people ask, why are black people so sensitive? It's because we've experienced so much trauma in the world when it comes to racism, when it comes to our intersections. Like, oh my gosh, don't be black and gay. You know, don't be black and Muslim. Don't be black, a woman, and old, and a lesbian. All of those intersections come together, but the root of the pain is really experienced in our blackness, because that's the piece of our identity that's been harmed the most. So yeah, we have a sensitivity to it. Yeah, we think about it often because it never leaves us. Think about the first thing you notice when you see a human being. If you was to do an interrogation and describe someone, what's one of the first things that comes out of your mouth? It's race. So when people say, why do we have to be so sensitive around race? Why do we always have to talk about race? Because when you in the black skin that we in, you can truly never escape it. So it's not so much our sensitivity, it's your insensitivity and the notions of race and how that impacts our being and our wellness in this world.